Alright guys, another video here. We're going to be doing our final structure drawing of a Tonka truck. This is a truck that we used to have in the art room and it's gone now. I don't know what happened to it, disappeared. So we will be working from a photo once again. The photo is available on the class website. If you look at it at the website, it'll look something like this. It's going to be really big, basically, just because of the original size of the photograph. So if you want to view the entire thing, right-click on the image and just hit View Image. And that will put everything on the screen at once. So this is what we're going to be drawing. Note here this piece of paper that I have under the object. I did that for a reason. That's to help you guys see the angle, the initial angle that we're going to be drawing. So just know that as I'm drawing this in the demo, this is the image that I will be working from, even though it won't be on screen. Alright, so I'll have this off to the side looking at it. But here is the angle that you're going to want to draw that is anchored to your anchor line. Alright. Okay, so I'm going to set this off to the side here. And we're going to get started. Alright, so again, first thing we're going to do, set this up to the side here. All right. First thing we're going to do, of course, is draw our anchor line. And I'm going to draw it on the lower right-hand corner of the paper, like so. And then I'm going to draw front angle and then the back angle, and again I'm going to keep this pretty wide, like so. The object is again kind of rectangular, so we're going to go a little longer here on this line, and we're going to come pretty close to the edge of the paper. Again, draw your line parallel, like that. And then somewhere in here, we're going to draw the back. So you're going to once again have a very compressed kind of a diamond shape box for the bottom of your construction box. Okay. In the past, when we did the robot and we did the car, we kind of did it in pieces. This time I think it's going to be easier if we go ahead and just draw an entire containing box for the whole object, or at least attempt to. And then if we need to go back and later on and extend the wheels a little past this box, that's okay. But try to get a box that is gonna contain more or less the whole object, if possible. All right, so there is our height, trying to do nice straight vertical lines parallel with the edge of the paper. And the top of our truck is somewhere up in here. Again, this is going to be kind of an estimate. If we decide we need to go a little taller or a little shorter, that's okay. The one thing that you just want to make sure is that you are keeping things parallel. That's the biggest rule. The size of the box can be adjusted, but things have to be parallel. Okay. So there's our initial box for our truck. Now we have 4 pretty tall wheels. We have the back part that's kind of like where the dirt gets dumped out. And we have the front section where the driver sits, where the engine is. So the first thing we want to do, just like with the other drawings, is we want to kind of draw all of our shapes on this front part, then project through and do the same on the other side. Now we have several different parts here. So the first thing I'm going to do, it doesn't really matter where you start with. I'm just going to go ahead and subdivide and start with the dumping part, the bed of the truck in the back. All right. So you kind of have a shape that comes across here, up and over and across. All right, again, I'm keeping all these lines parallel to this axis. I'm coming up about there, down, kind of have this weird, almost like a horse head kind of a shape, right? So something like that. Then you have your other box kind of down here. This is where the wheels are attached. So I'm just going to draw a very simple rectangular cuboid shape down there. Here we have the, I guess like a wheel cover / bumper. Okay. And then here we have the front part of the truck that runs down into this. Okay. And I'm just, very loosely sketching this out. This is where you're going to have lots of erasing and readjusting going on. And that's okay. All right, you just want to kind of get everything to fit. And if it's not going to fit, just, if it looks like it's going to be off, there's nothing wrong with, erasing and making your box a little bit longer, shorter, taller, whatever you need. All right. And then finally, we have our wheels. And these are pretty big wheels. All right. So I'm going to just draw a square in the back that somewhere in that area. I think I'm going to be okay with having the bottom of my box be the bottom of the tire. You might not be so lucky. So if you need to go a little past the bottom of the box, again, that's okay. Then I'm going to make sure my front wheel, again, I'm going to project through to the front. And I'm going to draw another box that is parallel to this one, and they need to be the same size. All right, so that's roughly the same size. I might need to go just a tad bit smaller here. So I'll just erase that. Okay, and again, this is where a lot of people get hung up. This smaller box here and here needs to be parallel with the larger box. So all these edges are parallel, vertically and horizontally. All right, so this more or less, looking at the image, is what we want. Okay? Now it's simply a matter of projecting through to the other side. Okay? So, and here's another situation where you might find that maybe we went a little too wide here. If that's the case, we will make corrections. And I think that's probably going to be the case. I think actually I should have just made this a tiny bit smaller. That's okay. So all you do is you just readjust there and there. It's basically like you're just cutting off the back edge. All right, so there's our new back edge. So let me go ahead and erase that so we don't get too confused. Okay. See? Easy peasy. All right, so now we're going to, again, project through each corner. Okay. And we want to just draw the same shapes on the back side. And it might get a little tricky to see some of these. Just do the best you can. Yeah, I think bringing that in a little bit more was what we needed to do. That would have been too long otherwise. This looks about right. And of course, don't forget, you want to draw your wheels going through to the back. Now this object, I have to say, is definitely trickier than all the other ones we've done, but it's still a fairly simple object in terms of structure, as long as you don't get distracted by the details. All right. So there is what we need for our wheels. We can revisit that later. Now let's go ahead and continue to gradually take this piece by piece and just start sketching out each part of our truck. And yeah, you're going to get overlapping lines. You got to really concentrate here and just do your best to include all the parts, visualize.